Well, safeguarding oil supplies and managing the volatility of prices are hot topics during the Energy Asia Forum in Kuala Lumpur amid the conflict between Iran and Israel. CNA's Roland Lim has been covering the event and filed this report.
The impact of a conflict half a world away, that's become a key talking point here in Energy Asia 2025 in Malaysia's capital. The fighting between Israel and Iran have sent oil prices soaring on concerns that supplies could be choked off. Plus, there are worries about the safety, security and even availability of transport oil via a major artery, that's the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has threatened to close. Now, the CEO of Malaysia's state-run energy giant Petronas spoke of a polycrisis, that's volatility triggered by new and protracted geopolitical conflicts, friction over trade and tariffs, along with an energy transition that is still taking shape.
Sadly, in the past few days, the escalation of the conflict around the Strait of Hormuz, where around 20% of the total global supply flows through every day, we've seen price surging in anticipation of a supply shock. Some may hail this. It's an intense price rally, one of the most intense since the 2022 energy crisis. But we must remember this is unfolding at a time when the world is still reeling from the spectre of reciprocal tariffs. Though we cannot yet precisely measure the true impact of all these events, the global energy system, which is already strained from the natural progression of our civilization, is indeed at great risk.
Other energy CEOs are also talking about risk. The chief of Saudi giant Aramco didn't fly out for this event because of the Middle East conflict. Instead, Amin Nasser delivered a video message saying that we are witnessing threats to energy security in real time and arguing it highlights the need for a balanced approach to the global energy transition. Now, he agrees renewables are important, but he says that the world must be pragmatic and cannot abandon traditional forms of energy. New energy sources don't replace the old, he says. They add to the mix. And many parts of the world, especially Asia, are energy hungry. The Secretary General of OPEC, the bloc representing oil producers, spoke here at Energy Asia. Haitham Al-Ghais says that oil still represents 30% of the global energy mix, and that record demand year after year means a demand peak is still a long way off. The wider OPEC Plus group decided to ramp up its output before the Israel-Iran conflict broke. The message from Mr. Al-Ghais is that balance is key.
Even oil has been, its demise has been written many times before. The theory of peak oil demand has proven wrong and wrong again and again. Internal combustion engine. I mean, talking about Asia, since we're here, maybe I should focus a little bit on Asia. In our forecast, we see that Asia will add another over 800 million vehicles to the car fleet by the year 2050. And before somebody says, yes, but that's all going to be EVs, no, it's not all going to be EVs. Yeah. A big portion will be EVs, almost a third of that, but then you add in hybrids, and still the internal combustion engine will still play a role.
Energy executives we heard from here agree the energy transition isn't like flipping a switch. A long-time oil watcher, Daniel Yergin from S&P Global, says that peak demand will be more like a plateau, and it will happen at different times.
It's a troubled energy transition. The notions that are out there that how easy it would be to just sweep into 2050 and net zero, we're seeing that it is just more challenging, more difficult, and that there's not going to be a single energy transition. It's going to be multidimensional in different regions, different paces, with different mixes of technology and different priorities. And we've heard here in Southeast Asia, there's a priority of economic growth, poverty reduction, which is very different than the view in Northwest Europe. And one of the strong things I've heard at this conference, and I hear again and again, is that another part of the world should not be dictating its view of an energy transition on an area in which economic growth continues to be very important.
So while many people want the energy transition to go faster, people also want to travel, heat and to cool their homes and to power their devices, all of that. What we've seen at these energy forums more and more is that along with being a chance to discuss the impact of geopolitical events or other matters, they are about advocating for an equitable and sustainable energy transition, but also a practical one too. Roland Lim, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.